I decided to become an investigative reporter because it is very important not just to report matters on the surface, but to dig deeper and to get to the bottom of how the road started and expose everything and tell it as it is. Investigative reporting for me is like it's one of the main elements in the world that can stop corruption by exposing all the politicians or business people who are involved in it and showing the public how their money was squandered, stolen, and abused, and then so that the public can force, whether it's the government, whether it's an institution, to take actions against those involved. What if the police themselves are involved in it? For example, in my newspaper, we exposed the National Police Commissioner. He was involved in a 1.7 billion rand police list scandal. And do you think the police will have handled it? He's their boss. So the newspaper exposed it. He was fired from his job.
So it does make a difference.
It does make a difference. That's why I'm saying investigative journalism is one of the key elements that can stop corruption. It is very, very important and very critical to invest in investigative journalism. You must understand that investigative journalism, it costs a lot of money because there's a lot of traveling, a lot of research to be done, a lot of spending hours, days in hotels. You need to invest so you can get quality investigation, and then quality investigation that will give you a very big or explosive story. The media should invest, but more especially where I'm coming from Africa. Most of the media organizations there, they are not as big. They rely on advertising, which sometimes the government, if they are critical to the government doesn't advertise in their newspapers, and then they end up running short of money. That's when donors are critical to come on board to fund certain projects, certain investigation, as well as cross-border investigation, all of that. The biggest threat to investigative reporting is intimidation, harassment, smear campaign, and arrest and possible death. When we exposed the National Police Commissioner in 2010 in my country, I was arrested 3 days later. And basically I was kidnapped because I was taken 300 meters away from my office. My lawyer didn't know where I was. My boss didn't know where I was. My family didn't know where I was. And even after the prosecutors told the police to release me, they refused to release me. My boss was forced to go to the High Court to apply for a High Court interdict so that I can be released. I'm very lucky because I'm working for a newspaper that it's got resources, it's got lawyers, and we've got about almost 4 million readers. So we've got the public sympathy behind us. But if I was working for a smaller newspaper with not much resources, they wouldn't have had money to go to the High Court to secure for my release. That's when donor funding is important, when they fund such project, whether is it legal, whether it's cross-border investigation, or is like access to information or protection of journalists. It is very important. I would say to the donors, open your purse, fund the people who are giving you nothing but the truth. Those journalists work very hard, they risk their lives, sometimes they get intimidated, taken to jail. They're not asking much. All they're asking is fund our project, we'll go out in the jungle, we'll come up with the truth, and the whole world will know how your money was well spent. So